beautiful being. It is lovely to see you. And yes, I'm a whole 5 minutes late. Or no, 6, 7 minutes. Anyway, sometimes life is like that. I used to stress about it. Now I just think, well, I live in no time and I accomplish everything. So why stress? Today, actually, we're talking about love. And I was thinking, what crystals are we having today? And they're all very sweet, loving rocks. Look at this. We all love blue lace agate. There is just nothing missing. You know, it's a very simple little piece. And look, you can see it's the rough bit. Hi, Barbara. You know, it's not even perfect, whatever that is, but it's so beautiful. Just love blue lace agate. Does it catch the light? You can see it's a bit translucent. There's not much light coming in the window, that's the thing. It's quite grey out there. But I love this. So, blue lace agate. How much detail can we get? There you go. Hopefully you can see. It's just beautiful. Next, something else that sparkles beautifully. See, I've got the lights on inside, so you see it differently. So we have a lovely piece of labradorite here that's been fashioned into a little cushion heart with its beautiful blue flashes. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. It really is the colour of it, at least the colour that I see on the screen. It's a lovely dark blue. And, well, it's got it both sides. This side is a little bit sort of greener and yellower. But I'm just very fond of this little friend. So, and last but not least, I know some of you have seen this before because it's so memorable that the brain goes, oh, eye candy, and remembers this is celestite, of course. And it's just fabulous, and it sparkles like crazy in the artificial light. And there's this beautiful big natural crystal. Which, see, I can show you the texture on its face. There, that's better. So, you know, it's lovely because it's got the really big piece in it. Morning, Linda! And it's also got the really little sparkly bits in it. And it's this beautiful sort of soft grey blue, which, you know, there is nothing missing. And you can see that the face is not actually perfectly flat. It's kind of, it's got things on it. Let me catch another one. So I'm just got to catch the light on it. There you go. You can see. See, it's just sort of slightly textured, which I find really wonderful. Just when you think it's a flat surface, it's not. Oh, and the label on the bottom says MG 304B, I don't know what that part is, but MG means it's from Madagascar. So there you go. So those are our rocks for today, and they're very beautiful, soft, you know, that lovely blue. Yeah, lovely labradorite. Hi, Susanna, it's great to see you. Yay, love to you in Denmark, love to everybody everywhere. Facebook hasn't told me who you are yet, but that doesn't stop me from loving on you. Kayla, good morning. Jenny, woohoo, now it's catching up, you see. I mentioned Facebook and the Facebook fairy says, oh, I better pull my finger out. It's great to see you. It's lovely to be here, running late and all. So today, there's this lovely thought that Nora wrote on Friday. Friday? Why does it take you so long to remember that last week was Friday? It's because that was 3 lifetimes ago, okay? I'm a new person since then, 3 times over. I become a new person every morning. Jeanette, good morning, gorgeous. I do. I go into the field and I make changes in my brain and I make epigenetic changes in my body and I come back and I'm somebody else. And I really feel that and I live this life as me this day and then tomorrow morning I'll do it again. So Friday was a long time ago. Predictable future and familiar past. Just now. Abigail, Julian, good morning, gorgeous beings. Hello, everybody. So the comment that Nora made, see, I got off on this great celebratory circuit, which is good, by the way. It's good to feel good. It's good for your body. Is this idea... oh dear, this thing that flew into my head. Oh, how lovely! Fluorite mushrooms. How delicious. Are you manifesting beautifulness, Abigail? It's fabulous. So, the idea that I want to play with today is this thought, and it feels a bit nebulous, but there's something important here, which is why I'm talking about it, that divine source, God, the creator, the universe, whatever, if you can fall in love with that greater mind, with that enormous, amazing awareness, that consciousness, that loving intelligence and intelligent love that is actually loving you and me into life. Hey Nora, we're talking about your wonderful idea from Friday. Then if you can do that, you can fall in love with that so much that you can forget about your problems. You can go and be somewhere else. And you can actually change your entire life just doing that. Now, what the hell was I thinking? I wanted to share about this. It's like, I know this is important. So maybe I'll just start by talking about my experience. And it was your question, Laura. It was such a good question that we asked at the end of, Thursdays. I don't know what day it was. Because I said about how I never used to trust the universe, and it was like, life, don't talk to me about life. Life is hard. Life is challenging. Life has it in for me. All of those things, right? And, and I think I said I have this lovely friend, and I adore her. She's a really dear friend. And she's doing the same work as I am with Joe, and, she's got a bit to overcome, don't we all? She said to me a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, the universe is, sometimes I feel like the universe is a stalker. When I'm having a shit time dealing with myself, I feel like the universe is a stalker. And it's like, honey, you got to stop saying that. Really? Because if you think about how it is that you must be feeling about life in general, if you're saying that with a level of emotion that sort of convinces you, life freaking stalks me, The universe is out to get me, basically. The universe is unkind. The universe has it in for me. All of that whole thing. And to actually, and I know what this is like, oh my God, because it's how I used to feel. And the amazing thing is that I now can say it's how I used to feel, because I don't feel that way anymore. And really, I suppose I want to talk about what helped me go from the place of feeling like life has it in for me, life is hard, life is difficult, it's pushing shit uphill, and, it's a glass mountain, and I've got no suction pads, so it's just, clawing up and falling down again, getting nowhere. How did I get from there to where I am now, where I can actually honestly say, I love my life? And I'm still kind of astonished that I can say that and feel it. I actually intellectually almost don't believe it, but I feel it. I really, truly love my life. But the thing is, this is the thing about being in love with life. I always used to think that meant, I love life, I love the world, I love everything in it, and people often express that when they're feeling in love with life, right? But that was something that was so inaccessible to me. That was kind of akin with joy. Like, don't talk to me about ficking joy. Joy was a unknown thing. And what started, however long ago it was, forget, time, whatever. What started to happen for me, and which is now very real, because every day, some way or another, I go into the unified field and I lose myself and I forget about me. I don't have a body. I have an awareness that there is a body here, but it's not me. And I just forget about time, and I forget about everybody and everything, everywhere. Frequently, I go somewhere else entirely. And what I find when I'm there now, because this is the whole point of what I'm doing really, is to connect with this intelligent love, the loving intelligence that's loving us into life every moment, that is observing everything into being. Without the divine observer, there's nothing, okay? Just like when the quantum physicists, they do those experiments with electrons. Hi, Adrian! They disturb the electrons in heavy metals to see where they go, and they expected them to behave like an apple. If you drop it off a tree, it goes down, but it doesn't. It gains energy, and then it loses energy again. It's more like down a flight of steps. It's like, hang on a minute, atoms and things don't behave like they do. Macro is not the same as micro, not at all. And the whole quantum thing happened. Where the hell was I going with this? My brain is like this amazing fireworks in there. It's incredible. So that, yes, I've caught it again. What they did discover when they were trying to figure out what these electrons were doing, when they gave, basically, they fired high energy particles at atoms, but atoms that they knew had unstable electrons that could be knocked off them, or protons that they could bang out of the nucleus, and it's all very interesting. But when they did things with disturbing electrons, they discovered that the electrons only showed up where they looked for them. And when they stopped looking for them, the electrons just disappeared and went back into pure potential. So this business of observing the electron into being is called, literally, it's the observer effect, and it causes a quantum event. Now, the whole reason all this stuff is here, including you and me, is because there is a huge intelligently loving intelligence that is observing all of this into being. Now, okay, this is philosophy and theory, no one can prove it, but my experience, and maybe it's me observing what I want to have happen into reality, who cares, it's freaking awesome, is that when I become nobody, no one, go and nothing, and go nowhere in no time, I connect with that beyond words indescribable, magnificent, amazing, greater mind. And that, to me, is life. That is life, and I am in love with that mind. That mind which consumes me and becomes me, and which I just end up saying, look, live my life today. I don't want to be anyone else. You live through me. I don't want to be me, I want to be you. And there's no face on it, and there's no labels, there's nothing. It's beyond or anything that you can say, oh, it's this or it's that, or it's, there's no ideology, there's no philosophy, there's no religion, there's nothing. There's just this awareness and this amazing nothing. That's everything. Forget words, doesn't work. So for me, that's life. And it's within me, and it's all around me, it's everywhere, it's everything, and yet it's entirely personal. It's universal and it's personal, right? God, I'm quoting Joe Dispenza a lot, because he's put words around this that work so well for me that I just use them. And I know some of his words he's got from other people, because they're good words, right? So this loving intelligence, and its thumbprint is loving intelligence and intelligent love. This is the greater mind. This is the universal mind, source, God, divinity, whatever you want to call it. This is what I experience. And the more I connect with that greater mind, the less I identify with my past, and with all that I can't or couldn't do, and with all that's too hard and too big, and that I'm not big enough or I'm not worthy enough to achieve in my future. Because the more I become that mind, the more I fall in love with that mind, and how that mind wishes to observe itself into reality through me, the little carbon package that walks around in here, that mind has an amazing desire to create for that little package, just as that infinite, amazingly, lovingly intelligent mind has the most mind-blowingly, heart-openingly fantastic future that it desires for you. Which has nothing at all to do with your past, because, in your past you forgot who you were. This is actually who you are. It's an expression of life wanting to be here. And by the way, life is still celebrating your every expression and failure and success, and the whole continuum of your experience. Bernadette, great to see you, honey. Life is celebrating all of that. So it's not about, oh, you failed up till now and now we can succeed. No! Life wants to experience everything. And so it's totally in love with you exactly as you are. With everything that you've created or not created, everything you've screwed up or succeeded. It's like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I get to have this experience. Christine, it's lovely to see you too. Yay! Life is just overwhelmingly in love with you exactly as you are. And at the same time, love has all this great desire, life, love, whatever, has this great desire to express more fullness and wholeness and the bigness and the amazingness of what it is through you. The trick is, you've got to remember you're that. And coming right back to something practical, please, Maddie. For me, the way to connect with that has been to learn how to fall in love with it. And to fall in love with it, I've had to get past myself. Because myself was so not in love with life. Myself was really not in love with living at all. Despite really having such a, at least on the outside, an easy time of it. It's like, this is freaking hard and it's not much fun and I'm not that excited, So I've had to fall in love and I've had to open my heart. And I did that a few months ago and things really started to change significantly. And I'm still seeing it. And vision, purpose, knowing what the heck I'm here to do is so, life has me now. I'm possessed by what life wants to do through me. And I love that. Bina, good morning. It's like there's nothing, there's plenty left of the old me, but when I'm in tune and aligned and listening and paying attention and I'm not, thrown out of balance because life happens. It hit me in the weekend and I dealt with it and I'm proud of how I dealt with it, but I got incoherent, crap came up. I needed to overcome myself. That's still going to happen. That's falling in love with life does not make me immune to the experience. But it makes it easier for me to remember, what am I here for again? Because I actually know, really, in my bones what I'm here to do. And it changes me. Okay, so, to come right back to the simple stuff that we talk about, becoming present, getting really present just in your heart, And if you want, this is like the base kernel. If you want to take this places, go to drjoedispenza.com, buy some of his books, read, learn, go to YouTube. He's there. The meditations are available on his website. They're reasonably priced. When I think about the enormous value I've got for the price of one of those meditations, it's like, oh my God, they should be worth $1 million. But, we had we had the discussion about pricing before. That's irrelevant. It's just an investment that you make in yourself. Are you willing to make the investment or not? Okay, enough said. The simple part is coming into your heart. So there's your convergent focus. You're getting present in your heart. And just doing that can be hard if your brain is racing around in tight, crazy circles and wanting to yell at you and, say, how awful everything is, because I know what this is like. Recently, not a long time ago, it's an effort. Put my energy here. And I settle myself down. And sooner or later, I will start to think, okay, I've got my attention in my heart now. Can I breathe in and out of my heart? And I'll do that for a bit. And then I'll remember, okay, now can I breathe in and out of my heart in all directions? Because really what I want to do is open my focus. Because if I can open my focus, I'm going to calm my brain down. I'm going to get out of this horrible medium to high beta state, which is really unpleasant, where I want to climb the walls and scream. Because that's what happens when I go into high beta. Something triggers me. It's like, okay, I need to get into my heart. I need to breathe. I need to see if I can open my focus, pay attention to space around me. Okay, I feel slightly less like climbing the walls now. That's great. And if I keep doing that, even with my eyes open, but I go outside and it's dark and, even if it's really cold, and just pay attention to the stars, if I can see them, or the clouds, or, whatever, because it was cloudy last night, but it was quite warm, so I went outside, just to open my focus. Get my attention off the thing that says, you got to be upset about this now, And the more I can open my focus, the more I start to connect with space, the more I start to connect with potential, the quieter my brain gets. This morning I was deep in theta. My body was asleep. Really was. Just still. I don't start off that way. My body shakes and rattles and does crazy things when I start to meditate. But sooner or later it goes to sleep, it turns off, it surrenders, it gives in. And then my mind is free. And I was in different spaces. I was just in other places. It was really interesting. I'm getting better at this. Being aware of my physical form, but I'm just somewhere else. And I'm hearing the echoes in the soundtrack. And I'm really in a space where those echoes are happening. I'm not just listening to it as sound anymore. It's only the last 2 days. So, oh my goodness, I'm really in a space here. And I understand this, and this sort of goes back to the thing of how this changes you, that just in the last 2 days, I've got enough neural nets inside my brain about being in this huge expanded space that now I'm really hearing the echoes there, and I'm feeling myself in this space because I've done the practice. And that's happened inside my brain now. That aspect of my spatial awareness has gotten enough neural connections that now I can really be there. So, oh my goodness, I'm really in this space. And it's a different space. I'm not in time. I'm not on planet Earth. I'm just in the black. But it's echoing. You know? It changes me literally from the inside out because I'm changing my brain. And so I know my epigenetics are changing. My body is absolutely healing. It really is. I from day to day, I'm seeing changes. I'm experiencing changes. And I'll tell you about that soon, but I have to wait for it to properly land. But every time I fall deeply in love with life itself, intelligent love, loving intelligence, I lose myself. I become more of this greater mind. And it changes me. Alejandra, it's lovely to see you, sweetie. It changes me. Well, it changes me. I've just explained. So I just wanted to say that this is worth the effort. However you do it, it's worth the choosing and the choice and the effort to think, who am I being today? The greater mind or the me that I used to be, and how unpleasant that was. And I tell you, it's really a choice. I was so aware of myself making the choice. Sometimes I made the good choice and sometimes I made the choice that wasn't so good. Really, because those nasty emotions are addictive, and I felt myself giving in a couple of times. Like, that's not you. It happens. So that's what I want to say. I want to encourage you to practice falling in love with life, because sooner or later you're really going to feel it. And if you don't feel it for a while, it's just because you're not used to feeling in love with life, because I sure didn't. But you can learn. If I did, you can. So much love. Big love. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.